I'm about to board an Emirates flight from London on the Airbus A380. There are 2 legs, but the first leg is in economy and the second leg is in business class. So I'm going to try and find out whether the upgrade was worth it, because not only am I traveling in business class, in economy, I have what's ranked as the best seat on the whole of economy. So is it worth the upgrade? I guess we're about to find out. All right, guys, we're off on the first leg of this journey, the economy leg of this journey. But let me tell you, I have never, ever seen a plane as quiet as this, especially on one of the big carriers from London. It's absolutely, well, I would say maybe like 10% at capacity, which is quite nice. So it means my seat doesn't really matter too much, but I do want to show you my seat, because I did say it was meant to be the best seat in economy. This is the normal economy seat. It's not thin, it's actually not that bad in terms of comfort, but you don't have a huge amount of legroom. The screen is on the TV in front of you, and then you have an armrest which goes up and down, of course. In front of me, you have the exit row seat. So slightly different, you have fixed armrests, so they don't go up and down, and the screen is actually in front of the seat. It folds up. Obviously you don't have the seat in front. The benefit of that is you get the legroom, plenty of legroom, and these are normally reserved maybe for families or people with children or people who need extra legroom, or you can book it. This seat, the seat I've chosen, 68K, is the only seat which has the legroom. As you can see, I can get out straight away. It has the window and it has easy access because you're right in front of the exit row. There's no one in front of you, so you can get in and out of your seat with ease. It is comfortable, I must admit. I mean, look at that legroom. I can stretch my legs out as far as I want, and nothing and no one is getting in the way of me. It's also one where the screen comes down. You don't have a screen, so you just pop it out and pull it in front of you. The negative is you can't watch things on takeoff, and you can't watch things on landing. But, you know, if you can deal with that, you do have the screen. I think it's exactly the same size, to be honest, of the one next to me. Exactly the same size, so you're not missing out there. Other thing is your table. Look, the table on the economy seat is in front of you. Pops out and folds out. Very easy. We're all used to that, of course. However, on this one, I think, yes, it's in the side as well. Is it a bit of a faff? Oh, as you can hear, it is a bit of a faff. Yes, it is a bit of a faff, but that's the, you know, one of the compromises of sitting here, I guess. Amenities, you don't get the toiletry kit, of course. You get the headphones. Should we see what the headphones are? Fairly standard headphones. I'm sure they do the job. Definitely not noise cancellation. And then you get a pillow, thin enough but thick enough at the same time. I mean, it's fairly comfortable. Probably want 2 of them. One for the headrest on the side, and then the other one to sit back on. And then you get a blanket, again, fairly standard on these planes. It's actually quite hot in here, but sometimes it gets cold. But yeah, nothing much more than that, I would say. And of course, it wouldn't be a flight review without showing you the bathroom. It's small, but it has what you need in here. There's soap, of course, there's hot and cold water. There's a nice big mirror with a light on, you can see me in there. There's face tissues, there's wipes, there's sanitary disposables, let's say. There's eau de toilette, there's hand wash and lotion, and of course, your toilet. Everything you need in the bathroom, albeit a little bit cramped. But to be honest, it's clean, it's nice, it does what you need, right? What more do you want? All right, I'm probably being a little bit harsh from the anticipation, as I said. I'm probably going to give it 7 out of 10. It's tasty, it's filling, the flavors are there, it's not too salty, it's standard middle of the road, 7 out of 10. Decent quality, I would say, especially that dessert. What I would say is, it's an evening flight, and nothing came until an hour and 10 minutes into the flight. So if it is an evening flight and you just want to sleep, which is what I tend to do, eat first, come on a plane, knock yourself out and go to sleep. Otherwise, you're going to be eating late, and then is it worth sleeping? We probably got, 4.5 hours to go now I've finished dinner. So I am going to try and get some sleep. I'm going to recline. It's a decent recline here, especially in this seat. The seat is fairly comfortable. So I'll catch you guys for breakfast. See you in a bit. And just like that, I made it to Dubai. And it really was just like that because, pardon the pun, but the flight flew by. I actually did manage to sleep. I was able to lie down across 5 empty seats. There were just so many empty seats. So I think that made the flight in economy feel like real luxury, let's say, because you had a lot more attention from the cabin crew, who were fantastic. The cabin crew were fantastic on board, so friendly and so helpful. But there was just so much space and you could move around kind of wherever you wanted. There was no breakfast though. I don't think I slept through it because it was on-off sleep. It was more like a power nap. Yeah, there was no breakfast, maybe it was just timing, but that's fine. We started the meal service about an hour after takeoff. Then I ate, then I settled down to get some sleep. And by the time I woke up or got up, it was about an hour and 10 minutes to go. So to be honest, I wasn't really that hungry anyway. It's not a big thing, but it did say on the menu, light snack breakfast. I'm not going to mark them down for that. That's kind of how it goes sometimes, I guess. It was a great flight. I would probably give the flight a 9 out of 10, and that's in economy. That's just as it was, because it was so easy. It's very professional. They know what they're doing, of course, but it's just executed very well. The seats are comfortable enough. The food is good enough. I actually spoke to someone who tried the other option, the chicken, and said it was very good. So you make your choice, you take your chances on the food, and I just got unlucky on that one. I've flown Emirates economy many times and had fantastic food. So I think in general their food is fantastic. It just happened to be one dish. That's how it goes sometimes. Anyway, let me work out where I need to be for this next flight, and then we'll start our business trip. And I'll tell you how and why I'm flying business. And obviously you can do that too, it's no secret. We're again on the A380 Emirates Business Class. I'll see you guys there. I made it to the gate. Before we board, let me just tell you how I got this flight. So, I actually booked economy for the whole trip. Did look at business class, but it was crazy expensive. So I thought it wasn't worth it. But when I came to check in, they offered me an upgrade offer for £400, I think is an absolute no-brainer. So it actually came when I checked in. And obviously it's limited availability, it's whilst there's space. It depends, I guess the price depends on how far it is, how many seats there are available, the price you paid initially, all of these things. The bad thing about doing it that way, rather than just booking straight away, is you don't get lounge access. That is a problem. Well, it's not a problem, but it's not as much of a perk, right? No lounge access. And then also you keep your baggage allowance, so you don't get upgraded to the business class baggage allowance, which is a little annoying. And then you don't get access to the chauffeur service, you don't get access to the meet and greet, all of these things that you would get if you booked directly with business class. So let's go board, compare it to economy, check out the experience. Is it worth the money? Let's go find out. Welcome on board the Emirates A380 Business Class. You can see it is a very different cabin compared to the economy cabin. The middle seats, which is set in 2 and then 1, so it's a 1-to-1 seating. I have myself a window seat, as you can see, very comfortable. No door, not like the Q Suite in Qatar, but very luxurious and very spacious. I love the colours, the cream colours and the brown. Big window, got 2 windows just for me, and a huge screen. Already you can see some upgrades here. Legroom. Now, okay, we had legroom on that seat earlier, so the shoes can come off and they can be tucked away nicely underneath, and you can put your feet on top. This bed will obviously collapse down into a bed, and I'll show you that later. We have other things here. We have storage. In here we have our noise cancellation headphones, so that's definitely an upgrade on the economy. We have slippers and eye mask. Didn't get that in economy, that's for sure. And then also a blanket, and actually the quality of the blanket is much nicer, much thicker, much more plush, let's say. And then in the second storage, we have 2 here. You have the bed cover, or the bed topper that will go on the bed. So we'll close those for now. The other thing is the screen, much bigger, probably twice the size, maybe even bigger. set in front of you. Now, it doesn't move, but you don't need it to, because, you know, you're here in your own little pod. Snacks, we have 2 bottles of Evian water, a sparkling water, and then we have M&Ms and some other snacks back there. What else? Ports. We have plug sockets, 2 USB ports, and an HDMI port. Oh, the seat. The seat itself, as you can imagine, is thick, is soft, it's very, very comfortable. Big, plush headrest. And then the cushion itself, the cushion is bigger and again more plush. Just more comfort, basically, as you would expect. The other thing is the welcome drink. You get a drink as soon as you board, and you get a choice of champagne, fruit juice, and what did they call it? They called it like an energy boosting drink. Of course, if you're flying business, I'm gonna go with champagne. It's technically 4 in the morning my time. It's about the time to start drinking, isn't it? Very good. Haven't seen the food menu yet, but of course, there's going to be food on this flight. I'm looking forward to it. The cabin itself is light, it's airy. I like the 121. Sometimes you get the old style and it's not so good. This looks great. I'm not that fussed about there not being a door, because when I went with Qatar and I flew business and I went Q-Suite, you have the door and it's also much higher. I felt a little bit claustrophobic. I actually quite like the open plan, and I really like this one. I think this is the first time I've been in Emirates on this style. Obviously, I'll show you the bathrooms, I'll show you the food, and there's a bar. There's a bar at the back, so I'll show you that as well once we get going. I'm going to settle in and looking forward to takeoff. Actually looking forward to this flight. Just before we review the business class cabin, let me tell you about my new suitcases, because they really are fantastic. For this trip, I'm using the Level 8 luminous textured 3-piece set, and it comes in 3 different sizes, so I'm covered for a quick weekend trip or a long-haul international flight. The shelves are made from lightweight polycarbonate that is durable and waterproof. They also have built-in TSA-approved locks. My favourite thing about these suitcases are the silent 360-degree wheels that are genuinely the smoothest wheels I've ever used on a suitcase. Inside, it's just so easy to pack. Both sides have separation netting, which compresses the items instead of just a single compression strap like you have on some suitcases. The exterior has a textured finish, and it's also anti-scratch. It's simply a reliable, straightforward set of bags that makes the actual travel part just a little bit easier. If you would like to get your own, all the information and the link is in the description. Let's review business class. Thank you so much. The first dish has arrived of the lunch menu, tuna tataki. I did not expect the tuna to come a little pink on the inside, so that's a nice surprise. Also comes with a salad. Got the dressing, balsamic and olive oil in there as well, and then a little warm roll. That's great. Nice little warm roll with some very nice butter. Very nice. It comes with a glass of water. Okay, the quality of the cutlery is, of course, better. That's the first thing I've noticed. But yeah, look at that, a proper knife and fork, nice and heavy. You can see immediately the quality difference. I mean, it's another level, isn't it? It's served on a plate, drizzle of olive oil. So not only have they just put it out for you, they've actually done finishing touches. The warm roll rather than in a packet. Nothing comes in the little plastic packaging. It just looks way more appetizing. We have to say that, don't we? But as you guys know, it's as much about the taste as it is the look. I'm going to get straight into that tuna. It looks fantastic, just seared on the outside and nice and pink on the inside. I'm not sure what's on top, but it's like a salsa. It looks good. It smells good. Roast red pepper and tomato salsa. Always got a bit of a kick. There's chili in there too. Get a mouthful of everything there. That is a winner. I would give that 8.5 out of 10. She actually brought around more bread, tomato focaccia, I think, and garlic bread. The garlic bread is fantastic. Covered in garlic butter. So it's pretty obvious overall, already it's elevated, as you would expect, of course. For me, when I initially booked, the middle seats were the ones that were available, but someone must have moved or maybe upgraded to first class and the window seat became available, and I was so happy. You just cannot beat sitting next to the window, eating a fantastic meal, drinking a glass of wine, and looking out the window, watching the world go by. I think that's, for me, that is what business class is about, right? Comfort, enjoying the experience, not the chaos. Not chaos, it's not chaos, but it's a chore. It feels like economy is often a chore. This is definitely part of the holiday, I would say. And the wine is good. Next up, main course, the beef tenderloin. I pre-ordered this one. Comes with broccoli and dauphinoise potatoes. Looks pretty good. A little bit of gravy on the side, a huge amount of broccoli, which is good. Going to be a little bit healthy. But again, served on a nice plate. I would say I'm pretty happy with that. Look at the thickness of it. Good portion. Again, let's see how it tastes. Now, last time I was on the plane and I had beef. Yeah, okay. The beef was well done, and it is well done again. I don't know why they do that. I guess it's easier, health and safety maybe, who knows. But let's just try that beef on its own and see if it's good quality. Alright, for being well done, that is way better than expected. It's tender, it's very beefy. It's very good, but let's try it with a little bit of everything, a bit of the dauphinoise potatoes and the broccoli. Another cracker. To be honest, I said I wasn't a big fan of the meal on the first economy flight, and I don't think that's, as I say, I don't think that's a reflection on Emirates itself. I just chose wrong, I think. This, so far, has been an absolute hit, and that beefiness with that wine. I mean, this wine is fantastic quality, actually. Economy versus business. It's not really a competition, is it? Look what has turned up. Dessert. This is the chocolate tart, apricot compote, and 2 luxury chocolates. Oh man, how thick and rich is that? Look at that. Buttery biscuit base, thick chocolate. You know that's going to be good. That there might be the best of the lot. I think I forgot to give the rating to the other one. To the steak, I think I'll give out, again, another 8.5 out of 10. This one is definitely a 9.5. When you have the choice of seasonal fruit, cheese board, or rich chocolate dessert, the choice is obvious, isn't it? You're going for the rich chocolate dessert with that compote. Even better. 9.5. Absolute winner. What a meal. Great meal. Fantastic plain food, I would say. Very, very happy. Very happy. It's that time again. Bathroom tour. Little more space in this one, I would say, and the biggest difference is that window. You get a loo with a view, and trust me, that's pretty cool. How often do you see that on flights? But I come in here, I smell straight away. It smells fresh, it smells fragrant. There's definitely been something sprayed in here. You have l'eau de toilette, you have an orchid. I think it's real. Dare I touch it? Yes, it is real. You have mirror here, close-up mirror for if you're doing a little shave. Sink, obviously, hot water, cold water, soap, the normal stuff. Toilet is exactly the same. But you also have this seat. I'm not sure the use of this. Maybe tell me why, but you have the seat there. Does this come out? No, it is literally just the seat. Interesting. But you also have full-length mirror, so you can properly check yourself out. But yes, a bit of a different one. Slightly more upgraded, I would say. But at the end of the day, a bathroom is a bathroom, isn't it? I just wanted to show you how the seat goes flat into a bed. Now it's very easy. There's some buttons on the side, and it doesn't take very long at all, but it's very convenient and very comfortable. I wanted to show you the bar, but unfortunately, I had microphone issues. However, I have some older footage from another flight that I went on, and I can still show you it. So here it is. So back here, at the back of the aircraft, well, at the back of business class, you have the lounge. And for me, this might even be better than the business class seat, because this gives you the space to stand up, to stretch, to walk around. When it's as calm as this, and I said the A380 is smooth, it is calm. I mean, there is almost zero turbulence, and there has been zero turbulence on this flight. You would be forgiven if you thought you were back here and you were just sat in a bar, chilling and enjoying it, especially on a long flight. I can imagine how incredible this must be to have this space here. Of course, you have the bar area with your drinks, with your champagne, with your spirits, whatever you want, but there's also snacks, there's fruit, there's biscuits, there's crisps, there's sandwiches, there's cakes. You can have anything you want. Basically, you can come and drink, you can come and eat, and you come and relax and just chill. And I have been on a few A380s, but I haven't seen this. Then again, I've only been in economy, and I'm sure many of the business classes have these type of lounges, I guess. That's my guess. But to experience it for the first time and to be in it, I mean, this is where I've been chilling. I could be out in my seat watching movies, but actually gazing out the window at the most amazing snow-capped mountains, chilling out here. It's bright, it's airy, it's spacious. Yeah, this adds to the experience for sure. Thank you. I made it to Bangkok. However, my suitcase didn't. It didn't turn up, and it seemed to be that I was the only one on the flight whose bag didn't turn up, if you can believe, which isn't great when you're traveling business class, I must admit. I'll tell you all about that, how Emirates dealt with it. Did they give me any compensation? Was it difficult? I'll tell you all about that after I give you my thoughts on the question, economy versus business class. Now, I'll make this easy. I'll try and split it into categories, and then I'll talk about each one and say whether it's worth it or not, and I'll give the overall. So the first one, I guess, is the pre-boarding process, let's say. What happens when you get to the airport? Now, there's obvious stuff. When you are flying business class versus economy, you get access to priority lanes, so you don't have to queue to drop your bag off. You also get the pre-boarding on the plane. You get to walk straight on at your leisure. And then, of course, the lounges. Now, if you fly business in general, if you book straight away on business, you'll get access to all of this. If you upgrade, like I did, upgrade offer when I went to check in, you don't actually get access to the lounges. I didn't mind so much because I got to the airport a little early, not too early, and I didn't have a long stopover in Dubai. But if that's something that's important to you, you're going to need to book business first off, or you're going to need to pay more to access it. I think that's a little cheeky, to be honest, but it is what it is. The priority at the start, you have your own check-in desk. It's okay. When I got there, there were lots of economy desks, so I just checked straight in very easily. It wasn't really much of a problem. And now they have these e-check-in desks, which also is pretty quick because there can be loads of them. It's not based on a human. Getting on the plane, it's nice. It's nice to go straight on the plane. I would say, to be honest, this is where I'm not that fussed between economy and business. Doesn't make that much of a big difference to me. I think I would say that. So you can say business wins because it's comfortable, it's convenient. It's not a massive thing for me. The second thing is the seat and the cabin itself. Now, this is where the biggest difference comes, I would say. You have your own private seat, and there is privacy. It's not a shut door like it is in Q Suite in Qatar, but there is lots of privacy. It's set up in a 1-2-1, which is great. I had the one, so I was next to a window, so I really did feel like I was in my own little space, and I had the window right next to me. It felt very luxurious, I must say that. The seat is stunning. The area is stunning. The cabin is great. You have the bar at the back, and I think that's fantastic. That's my favorite bit, because you're not just stuck in your seat. In Q Suite, I felt like I was stuck in my pod. In the Emirates Business Class, you can get up, you can walk around, you can go sit in the bar, you can go chill, and it's so nice to be able to go into a different space. It really makes things seem easier on those longer haul flights. And I can imagine, I mean, mine was only 6 hours, but imagine if you're on for 12 hours, it's going to make such a difference. Compared to economy, of course, you're cramped in, but I must say that seat, 68K, and then A380 on the other side, where you get the extra legroom, that was fantastic. I mean, having that legroom and not being able to be hassled by people walking in front of you, not having to ask, excuse me, do you mind? I need to get out. Not having to worry about these things is fantastic. So my recommendation there is, if you're flying economy, book early, of course, because these seats are going to go. There's a reason why in the forums they say these are the best seats, and then pay extra for that ticket. I would say that's almost worth it over premium economy, because you get so much leg room, you really can stretch out. And okay, the recline isn't a huge amount, but it's good enough, but it compares nothing to business class, to have a completely lie flat. They're comfortable, the mattress topper goes on top and it's even more comfortable, but it's just another level, right? And obviously that comes at more money. That's where it really wins for me, that's why I would upgrade, and why I did upgrade, that pure comfort for the seat, for the cabin, for the space on board. And yeah, big difference. What I would say is the leveler there is the Airbus A380. The Airbus A380 is my favorite plane. It's the most amazing plane to fly on for me. It's quiet. I was next to the engines on both of those flights, and it's just so quiet compared to other planes. It's amazing. And it rides turbulence so well. If you're worried about turbulence, there was turbulence, but if you're worried about turbulence, it's just a very quick one on that is technology in each place. Now, I said something wrong about the Wi-Fi. On Emirates, in economy, you do get a free Wi-Fi option. It's just messaging though, and it's so slow and it's just a bit rubbish. The paid options are also rubbish, but in business, you do get it. So you get a little bit more options. I could open X and I could scroll through and see what's happening. It's still rubbish, but it is free, but it's nothing compared to Starlink. I've flown with Starlink has the option for Wi-Fi, and that is just like another level. Emirates are rolling it out. If you have the choice and you can see it, maybe they advertise it, I would definitely do that. But they're rolling it out this year, and I think by the end of the year, they're gonna have over half of their fleet done. Yeah. Bit of a miss there, I would say, on the legacy Wi-Fi. It's not great. The other thing to say is the difference in the entertainment system. You get a bigger screen. It's not really worth it. That upgrading to business for those reasons is not worth it. It's definitely not worth it, I would say. It doesn't really make a difference. However, food. Now food, there is definitely a step up. Now you don't book a plane to eat, but eating makes it far more enjoyable in that sort of way. You know, it's part of the experience, and the food in business class was amazing. It's fine. I didn't pick the best dish, as I said, in economy, but it's fine and it's good stuff. What I did notice is the service and the care that comes with it. I mentioned, on the economy flight, no one came to me for over an hour. Would you like a drink? Would you like a snack? Would you like some food? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Now this is fine. Like, I'd eaten before I got on the plane. I knew this would happen. It's really not a problem at all, completely. However, the moment you step on to the business cabin, here's a glass of champagne, here's a soft drink. Would you like a top up, sir? Can I get you some water? Can I get you something else? Can I get you a snack? Dinner service comes. Can I get you more of this? Would you like another glass of wine? Do you want to try something else? It's proactive rather than reactive, I would say. And it's constant. I mean, you might get annoyed by that, but it's constant in terms of care, and it feels really, really good to, be cared for like that. So that is a massive difference. That makes the experience, because for me, flying business class is an experience. It's not just I'm flying business for flying business. It's part of the experience, and it really does become that. With that level of care. That's where their service is world class, I would say. And finally, price and value. Now, you can get expensive economy tickets, right? If you're booking last minute or booking in peak season. So sometimes the difference compared to if you book in an off-season good time for business, it's not actually that big. The booking business outright for me was too expensive. But the tip is, when you come to check in with Emirates on the app, or on a website, it will say, would you like to upgrade your flight? If there's space and there's availability, and they offered me that, and it was just fantastic value. Would I do it again like that? Yes, for sure. And I think it's a really great way where you can take the risk, right? Maybe on one of the legs even, maybe there's, it did make a big difference knowing the second leg was business class. I was much more relaxed about that, and I was looking forward to it. Yes, it would have been nice for the full flight in business, but I wanted to compare. Actually, you know what? That made the flight much so. Overall, obviously it comes down to you and it comes down to price, but it's a fantastic product. And if you can, get on that Airbus A380, because I think that is, for me, I think that's the best of the best. But they did lose my suitcase, which is, well, I had 2 bags to check in. I had an empty backpack because I just wanted to bring it with me, and I had a suitcase with my whole life in. Guess which one they lost? The suitcase with my whole life in. That didn't turn up. So I was a little bit worried, but I went to the check-in desk, not the check-in desk, the information desk, and someone came over from Emirates and she got me to fill out a form, and she said it's going to be in Dubai, it will come at some point tomorrow. And that was that. I then asked, is there any sort of compensation? And she said, oh yes, let me check. 10 minutes later, someone will bring you some money, and they came with $50. She said that wasn't the final amount. If I wanted to claim more, and I could claim more, I should email Emirates, but that was enough to get me by for the evening, which obviously is enough to get me by for the evening. But my bag hasn't turned up, and it's been over 24 hours. So I've had to go and buy some clothes, and I've spent some more money, and I've filled out another form online to claim that money back. Now, I haven't heard back from them, but they did say I've got check-in emails to say, oh, your bag is going to be on this flight. That then got delayed, and then it's been put on another flight, so it's going to come even later. Bit of a pain in the butt, but it will be delivered and it will come. The only thing is, you know, I had to buy my own clothes, and will I get that money back? Now, my insurance will cover it, of course, but my insurance says go to Emirates first, and Emirates messed up, right? So they hopefully will get back to me. So I'm still waiting on that, and I'm still waiting on my suitcase. Look, these things happen. It doesn't take away from the experience. I would not fly Emirates again. I think the lady was very polite and very helpful. What I would have liked is if she said, yes, we lost your bag, I'm sorry, or your bag didn't get put on, I'm sorry, it will come, here's the form. And here is the available compensation, not me having to ask for it. And if I didn't, that would have been the end of the conversation. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you found it useful. If you follow me, I'm in Bangkok now. I've moved to Asia, and there's going to be a lot more content coming from this part of the world. So please subscribe, hit those notifications, and I'll see you guys in the next video. It's about to get exciting.